Now, corn farmers may be able to use fewer inputs in the future if some promising new research pans out. A group of scientists are going back to corn's wild ancestor, looking for genetics that could help make modern varieties more efficient. That is the subject of today's in-depth report. Alonzo Favela is a researcher with the University of Arizona. And Alonzo, you've just released a study that talked about rewilding corn. With 100 million acres of corn planted in the country, that seems like a wild story. What does it mean? What's the goal here?
Yeah, so the goal of this study was we were able to find traits from teosinte, maize's wild progenitor, that had better interactions with microorganisms in the soil. So part of this work, we discovered that teosinte did this better, and then we were figuring out how we could incorporate this into our modern germplasm. And via breeding and different genetic methods, we were able to show that you could reintroduce these traits into modern maize, reintroduce it into a hybrid combination, and improve our sustainability with nitrogen usage. So one of the big sort of takeaways from this study is that the plants are now producing compounds that inhibit microbes that result in nitrogen loss and result in about 50% less nitrogen loss to the environment via microbial activity. And because of that, we can fertilize these plants with around 30%, we tested 30% lower nitrogen levels without any yield cost. So this is a really big advancement because we can now see that these plants are performing better or the same at lower nitrogen levels.
Yeah. So these are really traits that have been lost to time. So like things that we kind of lost as we domesticated these lines.
Yeah, exactly. So all these wild populations don't have characteristics that are useful to farmers, and their characteristics are kind of clustered together. So part of this study, we crossed maize back to teosinte and were able to isolate specific characteristics that we wanted and characteristics that we didn't. So when things were domesticated, they didn't have this technology. They kind of just selected the best one, and that resulted in some traits being lost.
As we look forward to this, obviously the cost of inputs, nitrogen use efficiency, those are big buzzwords. Do you really feel like this can move the needle for us?
I think so. And me and the group that I work with, we recently got a DOE ARPA-E grant to commercialize these characteristics and get them into our modern hybrids for farmers. So it's about a $5 million project, but we're trying to streamline these and get them into the farm field in 5 years.
Alonzo, great work. Really appreciate you sharing some of the details with us.